Um, certain grades when kids are likely when ADHD might show up, like that you may not see it as a preschooler, but you will see it as a kindergarten. You may see it in kindergarten. You may see it in first or third grade because those are times when, the curriculum becomes more difficult. Suddenly they have to sit still for 6 hours when they never had to do before. Middle school, depending on my son, when he went to junior high, it was a school where suddenly instead of being in one class with one teacher, he had many classes, many teachers. He went from all A's. I didn't even know he had ADHD, and I had been an ADHD advocate for years. I still feel badly as a parent that I didn't recognize it, but was um, he was the one that actually said to me, "I think I should get a diagnosis because I don't under." He didn't understand what was happening to him, going from straight A's to all these issues. But that's when his ADHD manifested itself. For me, it was in college was the first time. I wasn't diagnosed for years after that, but I recognize now that that's what was happening to me. So. Um, let's see, we're at time. So let me try to quickly get through the last couple slides. Um, a couple of you in your pre-questions asked about um, how do you maybe share information with your colleagues. And so modeling good ADHD practices for your colleagues so they can see it, suggest books. And one of the biggest things you can do is get Chris's iceberg poster and hang it up in the teacher's lounge. Let them see that. Have discussions about it. You can also invite, your chair group coaches, folks to come in for PTA meetings and those kind of things. People loved it when I brought my chat group in to talk to teachers. This is a big one, and this is one of the things that people don't know, and we should know it. Individuals with ADHD are developmentally 3 to 5 years behind their peers, their neurotypical peers. So for me, I knew this. This is one of those things that Chris Dindy taught me, but it didn't hit home to me till I drove away after dropping my 18-year-old off at college and realized that I really had just dropped a 14-year-old off. So just remember that as you're dealing with these kids. It's more socially than anything else. But not so much academically or cognitively, but with their, social skills and the like. Teach kids to self-advocate. Because they're going to have to eventually. Kids with ADHD become adults with ADHD, and we need to teach them early and often how to advocate for themselves. And finally, here are just some resources, and I've also given you my email address where you can reach me if you have questions beyond what we get a chance to address today. These are some organizations that'll help. This Through a Child's Eyes videos I cannot tell you how impactful they are for us as educators and even for parents to take a look at. And there's a whole series of them, including ones about attention issues and other, ADHD related challenges. I have to say that Attitude Magazine's educator resources are top notch. You got the best folks in the business sharing information. So I absolutely, recommend that you take a look at those. And again, there's my email address. You can contact me if you have any questions. And with that, thank you very much for taking the time to join us and listen today.
Thank you so much, Evelyn. That was just wonderful and so insightful. We got a ton of great questions from our audience today. And before we jump into those, though, I just would like to thank Play Attention again for sponsoring this webinar. And I also would like to share the final results from today's poll question. We asked, what is the biggest challenge for teachers in supporting students with ADHD? And the top 3 comments from our audience today was, number 1, addressing classroom behaviors. Number 2 is providing accommodations. And the third top issue and challenge that teachers have in the classroom is creating inclusive lesson plans. So all things that you touched on today with your presentation. And with that, I'd like to just jump into our questions. You had mentioned Chris Dundy's wonderful iceberg poster, and we do have that PDF available on our website, and we invite everyone to download it and hang it very large in their classrooms. But with that, one of the questions we got was, how can we normalize ADHD in the classroom? Are there other suggestions to kind of help students understand attention deficit that teachers can use?
Y- yes, it, it depends upon the age how you do it, and I think you have to be delicate. And one of the things is that the kid with the ADHD has to be comfortable too, because you don't want to embarrass them again, all that, the emotional dysregulation, RSD. So hopefully we can first make them comfortable with it. And then you can do things like just, what I think if you're just matter of fact about it, that's the way we raised our kids. It was like, you have ADHD. That means you're going to have some challenges that other kids don't. And so to just say that to the other kids in the classroom, he has some challenges that you don't. You can't play baseball very well. He can't remember to write down his homework very well. So I'm asking you to be his study buddy. Those kind of things. I think if we just talk about it honestly, that's one of my biggest pet peeves with both parents and educators is we try to pretend like the kid does not have ADHD or like, if we talk about it, it's a big secret. And it's not. It's a fact of life. There really is no such thing as neurotypical. We all have something. And so I think if we talk about it for everyone, not just the kid with ADHD, but if we just normalize talking about our challenges and what we can do to overcome them and how they're just part of life, I think that's the best way that we can do it.